At this particular
at the
event,
office.
At this particular event, once you're done
Oh,
recording,
okay.
what happens then with the footage that you recorded?
What we do is, as soon as we're done with the show, we take it from there, put it in a hard drive, which is supplied by us or by the client. Then we give it to the client there and there, because we don't want it to lose it or something like that. Because sometimes we normally delete after the show, we're giving you your record, then you delete it because you don't need it.
In this particular instance, what happened once you recorded everything?
We recorded and then we gave it to, I gave it to, Sbu gave it to our project manager. His name is Lifa. They gave it to him, so I think he took it to the client.
You personally, have you tampered with the footage?
No.
Did you edit or alter anything on that footage?
No.
Mr. Kwata, before I finish with your evidence, I just want to show you 3 videos. Before you continue, I don't want you might just forget the special effects that you are referring to is the ones that it's there on the screen. I don't know who's looks like a dragon dancing there. Can you just go back there? Can you confirm that's what you do? She's gonna show you now the special effects that you are referring to.
Oh yes, the one at the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the dancing?
Yes.
Whatever is there.
KGB,
Can you confirm that that is how the stage was set up on the date in question?
Yes.
In order for you to do that special effects, can you observe what's going on the stage, or how does this happen?
No, I just have a sneak preview on stage if it's filling the screen, but I'm concentrating here because you have to make the right size here, the number, the pixels. So my eyes are always here, not there on stage.
What do you have in front of you to look at?
I have a machine called a resumption, which is the software to play graphics with. They also go in laptop, so just the software.
Can you see what's happening on your screen on stage in order to correlate, if that is a lack of a better word, to what's going on the stage?
No, just use my eyes.
Yes, you said just use your eyes.
Yeah, just operate here and see if it's fill the screen, it's okay with me, and then I look at the other effects that can gauge whatever's happening on stage.
In other words, you look directly to the stage with your eyes.
Yes.
And you said you didn't see any shooting.
No.
The dancing that took place as it was portrayed in those two videos, the struggle songs, did you see that?
Yeah.
Could you confirm that was indeed the footage that was taken on the night in question?
I think it was taken from the one that we gave them. Yeah. Yeah, I can say that, but if you play it all, it's easier when you do it like that. When you play it all, so that it's easy to remember other things. But if you cut it and then you play it, I might be wrong in saying it's it or it's not.
Okay. When you gave over the footage, or when you downloaded the footage in order to give to Brigadier Governor and his team, did you look at the footage?
No, we didn't. We don't. Because it's not ours. We just give it to the client, whoever wants it. It is a very, very long video. So we just send it and then it deletes because it's taking too much space on our equipment.
Now, lastly, I want to show you the third video. Do you know this video? Have you seen it before?
No.
The video that was shown by the gentleman that worked with you, is it the same as this video?
No.
It's not.
No.
All right, he's already answered it, Mark, but that was
I
such a
didn't
leading
hear
question.
Sorry, Advocate Matthews, I didn't hear his response. All I heard was, no. So I now acknowledge you. Take a seat, please, Advocate Caesar.
Yes,
The
sorry,
witness
sorry.
has answered the question.
I didn't hear the answer, so you can
He says it's
raise
not
your
the same,
objection.
that is not the same video that he saw on the, that somebody showed him, so I'll leave it at that. But that was a blatantly leading question. I'll ask my
You want me to
defense.
disregard the question as well as the answer, or to keep it now?
You can keep it.
Okay, I don't want to, so I disregard the question and answer. You may proceed, Advocate Caesar.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes. We got an answer. The witness said, no, it's not the same. Thank you.
Noted.
Just my last question to you is, were you present when the fireworks were displayed? Did you observe that?
Yes.
You did observe that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bishop. I've got no further questions for the witness.
Sorry, just my usual ritual of explanation as to what will take place. Mr. Potter, the next step is for cross-examination. Firstly, Advocate Hodes, who represents Mr. Malema. Thereafter, Advocate Matthews, who represents Mr. Snyman, will have an opportunity to cross-examine you. It means they may ask questions from you, many of which you may have already testified about. But if you are asked, you are required to answer again clearly and directly. They may also place a statement before you in the form of my instructions are, or I put it to you, and then followed by a statement. If that is the case, you may respond by, you may agree, you may disagree. If you do not know, feel free to say so. If you don't understand a question, feel free to ask that it be repeated, and I'm sure they will indulge you by repeating the question. Thank you, Advocate Hodes. If you're ready, then you may proceed.
I'm ready. So, I know you explained your job or your tasks that night, which was the graphics debate. Do you confirm that you are not the cameraman who captured that footage?
Come again, sir.
Do you confirm that you are not a cameraman who captured that footage that you've seen?
No, I'm not.
Do you know who the cameramen were?
It was our intent.
Do you know their names?
Can't remember.
So this footage that you've seen was captured by at least two cameramen, the names of which you can't remember, is that correct?
Yes. However, the guys that we were using, they were swiping because it was tiring. Other one were just helping, but they were all interns.
So we had interns that were swapping because they got tired.
Yes.
But you cannot say that footage was captured by a particular identifiable cameraman.
Yes.
Now, I'm shocked by my learned friend. Can you tell this court what happened to the laptop that was utilized that night, sir?
Okay. I think weeks after we did this gig, there was also another gig that was we were doing in ICC David. I wasn't working on it because I was also in the hospital in and out. But when I was well, the guy called Pepelo called me and he said he want me to come and check our equipment because other service providers or companies were sub-hired our equipment because they were busy in other venues at the ICC. So I had to go and check which equipment is which company and where are our boxes. So while I was doing that, I came across our boxes in the loading dock where we are loading stuff out or we're taking them in. There were like 3 or 4 boxes there. Plasmas, an Image Pro, a laptop, stands, can't remember the other box. Where they were sitting, it was very, very dark. So what I did, I took them, there is civilian cameras there, CCTVs. I located one of them and then I placed them in front of the camera because when you have these international conferences, you're not allowed to come in or go in with any box. So the conference was not finished yet. So I just placed it there so that somehow if someone came and take it, the camera will pick it up on him or her. So what happened is the conference was finished, went back to the office. As usual, we do a check-in of our stuff that was went out. And then you check it, you clean it, you put it back on the shelf. So we realized that one of the laptop is missing. So we checked the serial numbers, and then we realized it's this laptop that was used into the EFF celebration party. So spoke to the project manager there. It was Julius Malema. So we went down to the ICC. We looked for footage. They said we need to go to the police. So we went to the police, opened a case. So they took it from there.
The point that I wanted to make so is that we have a statement in the docket that you personally reported that particular laptop as having been stolen.
Yes, I did.
You went to the police and you reported it stolen and identified it as being the laptop that was used at the EFF 5th birthday
Yes.
celebration by virtue of its serial number. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, I want to go back, if I may, okay, to the night in question. You were not alerted to any shooting of any nature on the night in question while the event was taking place. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
There wasn't an instance where someone said, oh, someone's got a gun, we better duck or hide. You never ever saw anything like that. Do you
No.
agree? Even having watched the first two videos that we saw here that were available in the video footage that you had, you could not identify anybody shooting. You said you couldn't see, it doesn't show who was shooting, quote
Yes.
unquote, you agree?
Yes.
And one can go even one step further. You testified to this court that you never heard any gunshots at the stadium, is that correct?
No.
Now, you also work for Gearhouse, and I want to put it to you, you've heard evidence from other people that there's no damage to any equipment whatsoever.
No, no, sir, no.
Similarly, I want to add to that and say that you are also unaware of anybody having been injured by any gunshots or firing of any firearms or anything.
No.
Now, if one looks at the video footage, it's clear as you testified that you only have visuals from the front and from the one side. As Advocate Caesar says, he doesn't know whether it's called left or right, because looking at the stage, it appears that it's on the right-hand side, but looking from the stage would be the left-hand side. Would you agree with that?
No.
Okay, how would you describe?
When you are in front of a stage, your camera that is on stage is on the right.
So you'd call it on the right-hand side?
It is on the right, yeah.
So it was front of house and right-hand side?
Yes.
And watching those two videos, you were incapable of identifying any particular shooters at correct?
No.
Then you testified that Brigadier Governor came to Gearhouse to obtain the video footage. Do you know what process or procedures followed for him to obtain that footage? Was there any requirements or anything that took place prior to him being given a copy?
Don't get your question.
You
Requirements
might not
of
have been wrong.
papers or maybe.
Let me explain to you. We heard evidence yesterday from Mr. Singh that Mr. Singh insisted on a Section 205 subpoena being obtained before anything was handed over. Do you have any knowledge of that?
Okay, well, for me, what happened is I was just called that, okay, can you please give this gentleman the footage?
And,
I wasn't speaking to them prior to that.
and once that was done, sir, were you asked to put the laptop into a forensic bag or to keep that actual laptop as being the original source of the video footage?
It was taken by Mr. Singh, put it where I think they put, they also had a hard drive or something. I was in the, after I've sorted out with the hard drive, then I left them.
And that laptop was then utilized, as we know, which resulted in it being stolen
Yes.
sometime thereafter.
Yes.
Now you explained, and it seems reasonable, that when you were there, you focused on your equipment, which is then sends a visual image of the backdrop or the graphic at the back. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So you never focused on what was actually taking place on the stage, other than ensuring that your graphic was well depicted at the back. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And when you were doing that, there was no shooting or shocking event that caused you to look up and look for a shooter. Do you agree with me?
No, the only sound that happened is when was the fireworks. There were fireworks.
Did you look up at the fireworks to watch them?
Yes, because the way they were placed, our stage is a dome. So the way they were placed, away from it. When they are coming up, it's like they're coming right on top of the stage.
In the sky.
In the sky, yeah.
And then you testified that it's difficult for you to identify the footage because it's a cut, as you put it, cut from the long version of the footage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so do you know who cut those segments out of the footage?
No, sir.
The third video that was shown to you, you didn't create or have anything to do with it?
No, sir. No.
Do you know where it comes from?
I don't know.
Bishop, may I turn to take an instruction or apologize?
Can I do that likewise? It will take time.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sam, for this. Thank you. I don't forget.
Thank you, Malady. I have no question.
Thank you. Let me just do this. Any re-examination based on Advocate Odiz's cross-examination?
No re-examination, Your Worship. Thank you.
So there's a few questions by court if you can assist for clarity purposes. Where to start? I heard you correctly during your evidence in chief. You said your job, as we now know, was the graphics and the design on the screen behind the stage.
Yes.
And then you continued to say you had to ensure that the graphics matches what is taking place on stage.
Yes.
Thank you. You also confirmed that you saw the singing and dancing of the struggle songs, etc.
Yes.
You watched that.
I was not really watching it. It just, you see that, okay, it's an entertainment. Find something entertaining.
And then you watched.
And then, yeah, you just, not really. When you watch, you're watching for a long time.
The problem
It
is
just-
you were saying in evidence in
Yes.
chief that you watched. So now,
Oh,
Can you
okay. Just
explain?
getting clarity there. Oh, okay. No, you just don't watch it. You just see what is happening. It's people dancing. Find something that's gonna go with the dancing.
okay.
It's something like that.
So may I assume then, as the graphics in charge person,
Yes.
you knew who belonged on stage and who not?
Come again?
You knew by that stage who was present on the stage at all times?
No. Not
No.
really. Other people, I don't know them.
No, I'm not saying you know them personally.
Oh, okay.
Did the people on stage change and new people came on? Or
Yeah,
was it normal?
there were a lot of activities on stage.
Mhm.
A lot of activities. So other people come in, they come out, But all we know that, okay, the party people were there, so you need to play something that is entertaining. There's a lot of graphics, not only that one that you saw.
Okay. So, the request I have was that if we watch clip 1 and 2, can you do that without sound and pause at certain sections where the court asks? Is that possible? So are you able to see clearly from where you are?
Yes.
All right. If we can just switch on the first clip, please, and I will tell you when to pause. 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 So on the far, my left in the corner, you see a person.
Wearing red, yes.
And wearing light jeans. You can come
Yeah.
closer. Come closer if you can't see. Let's start with the first gentleman. He's wearing a black pants, red t-shirt and a red cap, correct? Yes. And the one next to him, are you able to see? Okay, just move forward for a second or two and pause. Pause. You see the second gentleman wearing a long pants and a long sleeve jacket. A red jacket, yes.
Yeah, I see that.
All right, can we look at the third person, please?
So,
No, just a minute. Okay. Needless to say, the person next to the jacket is wearing a red beret on his head.
this one.
Him and the one next to him are wearing berets, red berets on their head. Do you see that? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see.
Okay. Right in front of that person, there is a male wearing jeans and then a, I would say, shoulder length shirt with yellow engraving at the back.
Yes, I see that.
All right. Then, furthest in the corner, what do you see? There. What do you see?
I see a red.
Red what? What type of shirt is that person wearing?
I'm really not sure if it's a shirt or a jacket.
Okay, we'll play on, please. You'll see the person is moving back, forward, joining the crowd. Stop. Pause, please. Just a second back. Pause. Now you can see the person. Can you describe the shirt?
Yeah, it's a shirt.
A long sleeve shirt.
Yes, it's a shirt.
Button shirt
Yes.
with a collar.
Yes.
Any other person on stage with a long sleeve button shirt with a collar?
Because I need some kind of shirts, jackets as well.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the jacket. I'm speaking about a red button shirt with a collar.
No.
Okay, thank you. You can play on. So we see all present on stage at that point. Okay. Right, can we play the second video, please? Pause. You see the gentleman with the red shirt, button shirt and collar, dancing with everyone on stage. Thank you. Can we proceed?
Your Worship, if I may. If I may, Your Worship, I'm not sure if the witness is standing there. Is this evidence recorded
I'm repeating what he's saying on record,
Okay.
and I'll do so again.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Yes, continue. Pause. Is he present on stage, the same gentleman?
No.
Continue, please. You see him present on stage there? Pause, please. Do you see where the gentleman with the red shirt and collar is now?
Or is it the same one?
You tell me, sir.
It's not easy to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the person with the only person on stage with the red shirt and collar?
Okay. If you say so, it's very easy to see.
Okay. Do you see anything held in the hand of that person?
Yes, he's carrying something.
Are you able to describe?
No.
All right. Can we continue, please? Okay, so the person is no longer in the corner. Is that more or less what you have observed as well? Okay, you can move back. Thank you, sir.
Lady, I just want to place my objection on record. Your lady's questions now that we've asked this witness go far further than a simple clarification of the evidence.
Oh, it's clarifying the
No, no, my
footage.
lady. My opinion and my instructions are that what you have now asked the witness goes much further,
Will you please
further
speak
than...
one at a time, please, so that I can hear Advocate
No, she's
Matthews.
prosecuting us. We're being prosecuted by her.
Sorry, my
I'm
lady.
listening, Advocate Matthews.
I just want to place on record that, in our opinion, your questions now have gone much further than simple clarification. You are in fact leading evidence
Yes.
as if you are the prosecutor. That's all it means.
Thank you. Advocate Otis.
We provide similar instructions to place on record
Not only today, we are studying.
these questions, as well as the questions yesterday, go beyond the realm of clarification. We have a record of them. I had been instructed previously, and it's embarrassing for me, but I need to record that my client objects to the manner of the clarification as adopted by your worship, and says it's not clarification, as is evident from yesterday as well. It's all directed against the accused and towards accused number one in particular. Yesterday there were even questions that touched on accused number two, on issues that had not arisen and were not challenged by the defense or by the accused. My client objects to it. I do believe that this can, to a limited degree, be clarified through further questions, because this is new evidence that hadn't been led previously. But I have specific express instructions to place on record, Your Worship, that my client objects to these questions.
Thank
as is
you.
obvious.
May I add, my lady, that during the evidence in chief of this witness,
Yes.
he specifically stated that because this video had been cut, he is not able to say whether it is a part of the main video.
Yes.
What then happened is your worship brings him in front of the screen and makes him testify about certain people's movements on the screen. That cannot be clarification of whatever happened during his evidence in chief or his cross-examination by my learned colleague. We see that as my lady climbing into the arena, and I suspect that I will have to take instructions in this because in my opinion it might lead to an application for you to recuse yourself. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Advocate Matthews. In my view, and then you may take instructions and I will adjourn. This is, since yesterday is the first time I've seen the footage. Secondly, the witness is asked about an event he attended, and I'm asking him questions about what the video is entailed. And that's as far as it goes. Nothing more, nothing less.
Could I ask that you stand down, my lady?
I need to add something. I was instructed previously, and I need to place the following on record so that Your Worship, before we adjourn, can take it into account.
I'm listening.
Your Worship, when we adjourned this matter on the previous occasion, when Colonel Michael Director was testifying, Your Worship called the Colonel back on the basis that Your Worship was going to ask him questions of clarification. It's a matter of record, Your Worship, that he was brought back. Your Worship then asked if we had finished the thing, which was clear that we had, and the re-examination had finished as well. Whereafter Your Worship, having brought the witness back, never asked him any questions of clarification. I've been asked to put that on record.
Okay.
Additionally, Your Worship, yesterday,
May I, sorry Advocate Audis, may I just reply to what you
Yes,
just
sir.
said before we move to the second point? When I entered, I had indicated on the last time we dealt with the matter that I will inform the state and the defense timeously when I will need the witness. It was to my surprise that the witness was present. Therefore, I was not prepared for questions by court, and I made that very clear, and we moved to the next witness. It was not with my consent or at my request that that witness be present yesterday. Okay, you may move on.
then, Your Worship, when the issue of clarification arose yesterday, Your Worship asked the witness whose laptop was actually stolen, and he told Your Worship that it was Gearhouse's, the company's. Your Worship then asked him, which borders on cross-examination, and Your Worship is entitled to, but it just shows the direction of the question. Are you able to say the actual laptop stolen was that one? And he says yes. Then Your Worship asked him, well, how? And he said, by the serial number. And thereafter, Your Worship asked him to identify who Quata, this witness was, and he explained that it's one and the same person. So the first issue that arises, Your Worship, is my learned friend for the state had an obligation to tell the court that the laptop had been stolen, because we are still challenging this evidence. Your Worship had admitted it as real evidence, but it was a contentious issue, and we had made it clear that it no longer existed. He had an obligation in his pursuit of the truth to tell the court that laptop had been stolen. He never pursued it with this witness, who has made a statement, as I put on record in this docket, as the complainant on the theft of that docket, of that laptop. Then Your Worship entered into a questioning of the witness yesterday, asking him why he felt uncomfortable in testifying, that he was still employed at he called it Gear Company, Gearhouse Company, and what was the effect of coming to court on the company. And he explained that it wasn't, that it was tangible, he'd rather not be here. You then asked him to continue. He said, are they still your clients? He said, they are. You asked him in specific terms, Your Worship, do you have a good relationship with Mr. Malema? And he said, correct. And then Your Worship showed him the videos that you've seen, and you said to him, you can't identify the people on the screen. How is that possible? Now, Your Worship, that's a very issue that's arisen now, but in a different manner, and that's why it's important that I place it on record. As opposed to asking the general question of why he can't identify the people when he said he couldn't do it and how it's possible, Your Worship directed him to the clothing of accused number one, there can be no doubt, and asked
Yesterday?
him. Today. I'm talking yesterday,
today.
Your Worship.
Okay. I must
Yesterday
respond
compared
to
to today.
yesterday, yes.
Today, Your Worship directed this witness to the specific clothing, and utilizing the clothing then led him to conclude who the person was and whether he had something in his hand. Your Worship goes further with respect than normal clarification ought to. And Your Worship then went into where they'd been asked, I'm talking about yesterday, the first time for the footage, and why it called in the police or his lawyers to find out how or in what procedures you give it, what was his reluctance in giving the video footage. Whereas he has explained this clearly, Your Worship, in his cross-examination. Your Worship, I need to take an instruction. You've seen my client is vociferous, and he has made his views very, very clear. And having placed those facts on record, Your Worship, I believe now for an adjournment to take an instruction from our client.
May I now respond, because you've said quite a lot, Advocate Ode, so I'll start with yesterday. The question was merely to the witness after he explained his own words. Firstly was, I would rather not be here. Based on that statement by the witness, the court asked him, can he explain, which he did. And my question there, my response to the witness was, I do understand, and the court moved on. It was based from his own evidence. Secondly, Mr. Singh did not ask Mr. Singh to look at the videos. It was the previous witness, not Mr. Singh. Today is one, you raised many issues. So this witness, to add to Mr. Singh's evidence, I asked him, he cannot identify. He said yes, he cannot identify because the faces aren't clear. It wasn't pursued after that answer. It was left right at that answer. We are all well aware that questions by court is not limited to evidence in chief, neither by what emanates from cross-examination, and the court is not in possession of the information by the state or the defense, and needs all the information possible to assess this matter in a amicable manner. Your problem today was, did I answer everything regarding yesterday?
No.
What else?
You also asked the witness yesterday, you said you can't identify the people on the video. How is that possible?
Yes, he said faces are not clear, and it was left at that.
Your Worship, when someone asks how is it possible that you can't identify the person, it's not clarification of the scripture, Your Worship. And he said to Your Worship, there's no clear picture of that.
And it was not pursued after that. It was accepted by the court that he cannot identify any person on the video.
But Your Worship, a different approach was followed today in relation to the video footage of this witness and the identification. Your Worship took him to specific characteristics that I don't believe he had ever noticed of his own accord, and said, look, Your Worship said to him, look, he's the only person on stage with a long-sleeved collared t-shirt with buttons.
Yes.
Which is something that I was going to clarify. He had never, of his own accord, detected. Then Your Worship said, now what's that person? That's not clarifying with respect to Your Worship. That's leading. No, Your Worship, it's clear. The record will speak for itself. Your Worship chose and identified what and said, now what's that person? He's going off the stage, he's coming back. You see, he's back.
Yes.
So it's not, there's no clarification with respect to Your Worship. And it leads straight into the question of yesterday. How is it possible that you cannot identify anybody on the video? So Your Worship, we say that goes beyond clarification.
Right. Let me respond as follows. Not once did the court ask this witness to identify any person in that video. The state, neither did the defense, stop to ask questions regarding the video and what it actually depicts. And that is what I wanted to know. At no stage was it asked who the person is. It's distinctive what the clothing of each person on that video was requested by them, and who was present at any given time as depicted on the video. That is as far as it goes.
Your Worship, you argue that the clothing isn't distinctive. You see red tops in general and jeans on the lower part of the body. There's nothing distinctive or picked up by the witness prior to it being pointed out by the Worship.
Yes, exactly. No one picked it up, so we need to place on record what we actually see at Ficadodes, and that is the purpose of this. Nothing more, nothing less.
No, Your Worship, with respect. Where a man says, I didn't take the video, I don't know who the video photographer was. This is the extract that came out of it for Your Worship to then say, look at the video, do you identify this person by this discernible characteristic of his clothing? Now can you look and see if he's carrying anything? He says, yes, what is it? And he says, I don't know. It goes beyond clarification of respect, Your Worship. But I need to take an instruction, Your Worship.
Okay, just keep in mind that after his answer it was left at that, nothing further was requested, it was accepted by court as that.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have a clear note of the questions and answers.
Sorry?
I do have a clear note of the questions and answers, Your Worship.
Yes. Was it taken any further than that, as in saying, yes?
Your Worship, my note is, do you see anything in his hand? He said, I do see something. Can you describe it? No.
Yes. So it was left right there.
It had to
not
be
pursued. Yes. Okay. Any response from this? Sorry, Advocates, I'm not sure if you were still
done,
busy. You want to address the court, Advocate Caesar?
Your Worship, I think best way is that we adjourn for a short while. Advocate Otis and Advocate Matthews ought to bring a proper application, whatever the application is, so I can also prepare to respond to that. Thank you.
Certainly. Then the matter will stand down. Just a second, I will pick up here.
that he needs to travel back to Johannesburg, and I need to just clarify issues that arose now. I don't believe I've been more than 5 minutes at maximum. I've got 3 issues to clarify. And thereafter, Your Worship, I've been instructed to apply for Your Worship's recusal. We would request, and I've spoken to both my friends, that we have the afternoon to prepare that and then launch the application tomorrow morning. But the request by Mr. Caesar is that we finish this witness rather than leaving, because it's a matter of only a few minutes and it's unfair to make him come back all the way. But I'm in Your Worship's hands in that regard. Thank you.
Advocate Matthews, anything that you wanted to add?
Revision, my instructions are also to apply for your recusal. I think in fairness to everybody, we should do a proper application and not a discussion back and forward. I will also require until tomorrow morning to bring a proper written application. Thank you.
You may be seated. Anything you wanted to add, Advocate Caesar?
No, Your Worship, I just wanted to confirm that I did request that we just accommodate this witness in order for him to travel back. That's it, Your Worship.
Thank you. Mr. Quatta, you're reminded that you are still under oath in this matter. Sorry, I'm just having a look at my notes to see if there's anything else that I wanted to ask. Mr. Quatta, what I gathered now from hearing from the defense, you are traveling back to Joburg. So do I assume you are based at the Joburg branch and
Durban.
Durban branch?
Yeah.
So you do know the previous witness who testified, Mr. Sibusiso Ngobo,
Yes.
being your colleague at the same company in Durban.
Oh, yeah, at that time, yes.
At that time,
Yes.
meaning?
Meaning now, no, he's not obvious.
I heard during cross-examination you mentioned interns. At that stage in 2018, according to your knowledge, was Mr. Ngobo an intern at the company?
Go again?
You mentioned in cross-examination that during the event,
Yes.
you also used interns.
Yes.
So was Mr. Ngobo also an intern at that stage?
No, he was a commanding staff.
You also mentioned in your evidence in chief that you are a senior AV technician.
Yes.
And on the day of the event, graphics was your responsibility.
Yes.
Now, can you explain to me then what role did you play as a senior AV technician to oversee? Or
Yes.
did you oversee
Yeah,
the
just to
report?
look after the equipment and technicians that are working in that gig.
When you say looking after the technicians working at the gig, what does it entail?
Just to make sure they have everything they need
And
in
that,
terms of equipment, and then once they can go do that job, or they can assist some other departments if we can, something like that.
so basically to check all is functioning and no
Yes.
problems experienced.
Yes.
Did anyone report any problems to you on that day that needed your attention?
No.
Okay, that is all from the court side, Mr. Porter. Any questions based on the court's questions, Advocate Caesar?
None, Your Worship.
Advocate Dowdes, based on the court's
Yes,
questions?
yes.
Mr. Potter, I put it to you that you didn't know who was present on the stage at all times. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
I also put it to you, sir, that before today you never took any notice of anybody wearing a button shirt, red button shirt with a collar. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
I put to you further, sir, that you never noticed or even had paused to look before whether anybody had anything in their hands. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Now, I want to put it to you further, sir, that Mr. Nkobo was a audio visual technician. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I want to put you further, sir, that you clearly stated that you did not see. I want to explore that. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Advocate
I
Michael.
have no questions.
Thank you, sir. We have finalized your evidence. You are excused and you may stand down.
Thank you.
Thank you. So at this point, we are postponing until tomorrow.
Yes, per if I understand correctly, is that the matter then be stood down until tomorrow morning for the application for recusal to be brought by the legal representatives of accused number 1 and accused number 2. I've got no objections to that. I also properly need time to prepare as well. Thank you, Your Worship.
I confirm that, Your Worship.
Confirm.
Is there a specific time? I'm not sure what the load shedding schedule is like, or are we all clear tomorrow?
I checked tomorrow we are fine, Your Worship.
Thank you, Court Richard.